Hello and welcome to A Day in the Garden with me, Christina Linder. Today we're in the middle of summer, we're mid-July, and it's really time to start paying attention to deadheading your garden. The term sounds quite hateful and lethal, but it refers just to taking off all the dead and wilted flowers so that your plants will continue on blooming. So I have here a rose, as you can see. It still has good buds on it, but the center bloom is finished. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut that out, and we're going to leave these buds to bloom. When all of these buds are finished, we're going to follow the stem down to where we find a leaf with 5 petals or 5 leaves on the same leaf here. As you can see, this is only 3, so I cut this off so that we could demonstrate it better, but you would follow this stem further down and cut it off once you encounter a leaf with 5 leaflets on it. Also, here is a buddleia or a butterfly bush. These are super popular with all the pollinators, and as you can see here, this part's all finished blooming now, but there's new shoots coming here, so we're gonna cut those there, and then later on when these 2 have finished, then there's still new ones coming further down, so you just can keep cutting them back and giving them another chance to bloom. I have here a penstemon, and it's almost finished. It only has a couple of blooms kind of finished to go up here, and you can see here's all the different seed pods all the way up. These are flowers that have finished. So what you'd want to do here is you would want to cut that stem like there, and then sometimes you will have new buds coming out on the sides where the leaves are. This is called a veronicastrum, and it is so fragrant and fabulous and super popular also with the pollinators. So when this flower is all finished, it's not quite finished yet, but I'm just going to show you anyways. You would cut that here, and you can see here is more buds coming all along the stem. So you can really keep these blooming long into the fall. And your bee friends will thank you. Here is a scabiosa. And this scabiosa has a couple of things going on. It's got aphids here. And the best way to deal with a mild aphid situation is to just wipe them off the stem like that with your fingers, or you can use a paintbrush like a tiny little broom and sweep them off, or you can use your watering hose and you can just rinse them off. Now when you look really closely here, some of these aphids appear to be kind of silver colored. And this is very, very interesting because these have been attacked by a parasitic wasp that has laid an egg, and these are going to, they're not alive anymore. They are the hosts now to the babies of these parasitic wasps. And these parasitic wasps look nothing like regular wasps, so you wouldn't be able to tell them apart from or you would definitely be able to tell them apart from other insects. And I notice here that there's a lot of these that has the parasites, so that's great. They'll take care of themselves. Here you have a few buds, and then these are the seed pods that are starting to form now. So what you would do is you would just take your clippers and follow that stem all the way down to the foliage and trim that out. And that is a bud that's about to bloom as well. So be careful that you don't cut the buds off. And then this will keep producing flowers. Hydrangeas are another thing that causes a lot of confusion when it comes to pruning. This is a mop head or a big leaf hydrangea. And as soon as these are finished blooming, which is, you know, mid-July to mid-August, you want to cut them off or trim them up. And if you're going to cut your bush back, you have to do it before the middle of August, because these bloom on last year's growth, and you want to cut them early enough that they still have a chance to put out some more growth, and those will be your flowers for next year. And there is a lot of different perennials and annuals for that matter that require deadheading. Here is a Sweet William, not so sweet in this stage. And what we're going to do here, because you can see how these flowers are all finished, we're just going to give those a snip, take those off, and try to make the cuts look a little uneven so that it doesn't look like it's had a crew cut. And if you do this, what happens is that you interrupt the seed production, and as soon as a plant starts going to seed, it feels like it's done everything it's set out to do in life, and it will then decide to maybe take the rest of the summer off and not flower anymore. So when you trim off all the flowers, you are potentially instigating a new bloom period. So that is not as attractive, but many times these will bounce right back and go on to look quite beautiful. This is a type of cosmos. It's an annual, and you can see there's a lot of deadheading to be done here. So what I want to do is I want to cut this back far enough into the foliage that I expose these new little buds that are coming out here. Take that. There's some more buds here, so we won't cut those off, but we will take the ones that have finished, and then here. So now you can see all these buds are ready to go, and they will develop and flower again. So that's it for today. Have a lovely, lovely day, and I hope you get out into your garden to do some deadheading. As always, like, follow, and share, and we will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.